Oh, here it goes, here it goes, here it goes again. It's First and 10. Hello and welcome to another episode of First and 10. My name is Nick Weasel Frime, and we're going to be showing you again the first 10 minutes of a video game. That's what First and 10 means. So, today we're going to be doing Endless Legend. Endless Legend is the follow-up to Endless Space by Amplitude Studios. And when I say follow-up, I mean it's their next game they made. This game was released on September 18, 2014, and is a indie 4X turn-based fantasy strategy role-playing game. That is a mouthful. Needless to say, it is still a 4X strategy turn-based game, except for the fact that this time it has fantasy elements instead of space elements. So it works a little bit differently. We're just going to get started in a new game. You'll see a lot of similar things to Endless Space. How many empires, what the difficulty is, what the game speed is, what the world size and shape is. You have all of your empires to choose from, which all look really, really cool, mind you. And you can play single or multiplayer just right from here. We are going to get ourselves right into this. You are going to notice a lot of similar things to Endless Space if you watched that First and 10. If you haven't, you should go back and watch it. You're going to see that you have resources such as food, science, production, and dust. Dust being the money of this universe. You will see that there are a whole lot of unique people to explore and find and all that kind of stuff. And you're going to notice that it's a little bit more micromanaging and complicated than something like a Civilization game. Not that that's a bad thing, because I really like it that way. So loading time can be somewhat long when you first start, but don't worry, once we get in, it'll be awesome. We're going to see a little cutscene to start out with as they introduce what we are playing as, and then we'll be able to manage our units and our cities and all of the rest of that. I hope that we'll be able to get into a fight in this as well, because a battle is very interesting. It is turn-based, but the entire playing field of hexagons in that area turns into a battlefield where you then choose who to attack and everything. So first of all, here you are.
I am convinced. Now I must convince the others. We have seen the longer winters. We have felt the limits of the sharing. Our planet is changing. We must change with it. We must leave the forest, start again, explore and reach out. We must find new ways, adapt, learn, for if not, we will perish. And that will not happen while I wear the crown.
You could obviously turn those off if you don't want to see that every time you start, but they're really kind of cool for the first time. You get an idea of who you're playing as. Now, as you can see, we've already met an AI. We are in Cold War. They are indifferent to us, but these kinds of things pop up every time once you encounter someone or have something else happen. So if you zoom out, you see that's a very hexagon type of field. So this is our settler, more or less. So what we need to do is we need to make a city. Now, when making a city, you can see that there are different, each piece of land has a different thing that it provides for your city. So in this case, if we just put it right here, which we're just going to do, bam. Now we've also encountered a minor faction. Minor factions, if we head up to the first screen to show you of, minor factions are people you can assimilate and then create units that they have. Now, there's also a lot of other stuff here that we're going to go over quickly, including influence points, which are used to make empire plans, which happen every 20 turns. And as you can see, you can get different things based on what you decide you want to do with your game. You have a lot of bonuses, which are all shown over here, and it kind of gives you just an idea of all the things going on. The next screen over is your cities list, which obviously you can see all of your cities, how they're producing, and what they have going on. We will dig a little bit deeper into cities in just a sec here. Research is a bit different. As you can see, you have to research And as you can see, by just clicking, it actually queues up multiple different things. We are going to try to get, actually, we're going to try to get that first, followed by that. Once you research X amount of things in the first tier, that unlocks the second tier. So that's how research works. Next over, you can see your quests. Quests are things that either randomly appear or when going to different cities, you can actually get from other people. Heroes are people that you can purchase. They have an upkeep to them. And then you can put them onto your cities or onto your armies to be able to fight with you. That is very important. They can come in very handy. You can manage your armies. You can create new units based off of other units, and as you can see, you can add armor and everything to them. This will come in handy. You will research different armors, and then you'll be able to do that later. We will not do that right now, but that's how you can do that. And then obviously you have your diplomacy screen where you can see how if people are at peace with you, if people are at war with you, etc., etc. So on the city screen, you can see down here in the corner, you can see what you can build. So in this case, let's start building an item, or the Founders Memorial. It's something that gives you positive effects on the city. We're not going to assign a hero, but also you can see up here that depending on where you put your worker, it positively affects a different thing. We want food for now, just because we'd like to be able to grow the city and then have more people to move around. Now while that's going on, I'm also going to try to get into a fight here. But as you can see, by holding down the right mouse button, I can move to another area. Since I have a city down in this area is now mine. All of this area is owned by me. Now, people can move in and out of your area freely without getting into a battle with you. That does not start wars. This here is one of the city-states, or in this case, the minor factions that will spawn units. So we're just going to end the turn. Everyone else will end the turn. Now there is a winter thing that goes on here as well. So this is our first quest. This is a default quest. Explore the map and search for runes, which we will definitely not do during this because we need to go find people to fight. Winter is a thing which will... Oh, I found a new minor faction. Winter is a thing which will negatively affect everything for X amount of turns. It happens randomly after a certain amount of turns, and you will see that happen, not within this, but that's something that will happen during your time in this game. You know, of course, we're having bad luck finding something, which is unfortunate to fight, but as you can see, turns just keep going. Now, you will continue to get updates about what's going on in the corner, which will help you be able to decide what to do next. In this case, you have to make sure to click on your city, because now we have 2 people. Oh, look, another minor faction. And with 2 people, I can start splitting up what they're working on. This will help us get this Founders Memorial faster in this case. Armies can be combined or split apart so that you can have more or less people, and depending on how many people you have in your armies depends on how many people fight in each battle. Wow, we are getting super unlucky though, because everything is obviously very randomized, so we don't really get to choose when we get to encounter things to fight and when not. So as you can see, we are just not finding another enemy to be able to fight. There is an idea of terrain, of high and low terrain, so you may have to go around stuff depending on what happens. Oh, but in this case, again, so we've completed constructing something, so it's telling us that the construction queue is empty so that we can go back and make something else. You can also salt the earth, which raises the city, which is kind of a cool idea, and all cities get that, that effect if you want to. Ooh, look, another minor faction. So it does not look like we're going to be able to get lucky enough. Oh, our research is complete. That's good. We're not going to be lucky enough to be able to get ourselves too much into anything. But, you know, we can also just attack these guys. As you can see, this tells you how much you are against them. Now, these guys are a minor faction, but we can destroy their city. Here's what the battle looks like. We have our units, and we choose where we want to deploy them. Now, these guys are all along range, so we're going to leave them here. Once the deployment phase is done, you get to choose who you want to target, and then you get to launch the attack. Everything is turn-based based on your initiative. As you can see, we have our units choosing who to attack at what time, and they're just attacking who I've determined. And then the opponents will attack us. And this is basically how a battle goes. We will probably win this battle, but not in the amount of time that we have left in this 1st and 10. So that is Endless Legend. It is a very fun strategy game. I highly recommend it. Again, by Amplitude Studios. You can find it on Steam if that is something that interests you. You can find more videos like this at PlayerWon.tv. We will be back with more First and 10 in the future, so keep watching for those. That is all we have. Thank you for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day.